Hello everyone and welcome to another video. If you run a website or a blog, you may well have received this message. I've had it left as a comment so many times on Keep Safe on the Net that I've lost count. The message starts by saying your website or a website that your company hosts is violating the copyright protected images owned by myself. Myself seems to come under several names: Kristen, Jessica, Crystal, Lisa Hernandez, Lisa Brown. And apart from a few subtle changes in the wording, the messages are all the same. Take a look at this doc, it continues, with the URLs to my images you used at keepsafeonthenet.co.uk and my earlier publications to get the evidence of my copyrights. Download it now and check this out for yourself. And then you're given a link to click on to download a document. Please don't click on this link or download the document. I downloaded it so that you don't have to, and I'll show you what it contained in a minute. The message continues, I think that you intentionally violated my legal rights under 17 U.S.C. section 101 et sec and can be liable for statutory damage of up to $150,000. That figure varies with each email, as set forth in section 504C2 of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, therein. This message is official notification. I demand the elimination of the infringing materials referenced above. Take note, as a service provider, the DMCA requires you to eliminate or terminate access to the copyrighted materials upon receipt of this particular letter. In case you do not stop the use of the above-mentioned copyrighted materials, a legal action will likely be commenced against you. I do have a good faith belief that use of the copyrighted materials referenced above as presumably infringing is not authorised by the copyright proprietor, its agent, as well as legislation. I swear, under consequence of perjury, that the information in this message is correct and that I am the legal copyright owner or am certified to act on behalf of the proprietor of an exclusive right that is presumably infringed. Best regards, Crystal Dominguez. Here's that file that I downloaded. It was a zip file. Look at it. It contains a JavaScript file. That means that if you unzip it and try to open it, it will run a piece of code on your computer, most likely installing a Trojan or some other piece of malicious malware. If you did make the mistake of unzipping and trying to run the attached file, I strongly suggest that you go to this website, malwarebytes.com, and download and scan your device with the free version of Malwarebytes. It's an excellent piece of anti-malware software, and it does find most things. So what is the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act? First, I have to tell you that I'm not a lawyer and I don't have any legal experience. So please don't take anything that I say here as legal advice. Many people seem to think that if they find something online, they can use it themselves. I came across that quite a lot when I used to make websites for clients. They'd find a picture or a photo that they liked and ask me to include it on their website. Well, you can't do that unless you have the permission of the person who either took the photo or designed the picture. The copyright belongs to them, not to you. I always told my clients to take their own photos or to use one that I'd taken. The same applies to articles that you find online and blog posts. You can't just copy them and use them on your own blog unless you have the permission of the person that wrote them. There are many websites that contain stock images that you're allowed to download and use. Sometimes they charge a fee and some are free. And the same goes for articles. If you want an article for your blog or website, there are many sites where you can purchase articles or where you can download articles for free. But you can't just use any photo or picture or article that you find online and use it on your own website. It doesn't work like that. The copyright usually belongs to the person that wrote the article, designed the picture or took the photograph. Just stop and think about it. If it was your article or your photograph, you wouldn't want someone else using it without crediting you. And no, just crediting an article or a photograph doesn't mean that you can use it unless you have the permission of the original owner. And suppose that you're the owner of a photograph or image or article online and you find it reused somewhere else. What should you do? Well, that's where those messages that I showed you at the beginning of this video come into play. They're what's known as a Digital Millennium Copyright Act Cease and Desist Notice, a DMCA C&D notice. If you find something of yours reused online, the first step always is to try to contact the website owner and just send them a polite email. Sometimes it's just a mistake and the thing that they've reused will be removed. Sometimes, of course, it's not a mistake, and there are a lot of people out there who intentionally and deliberately use anything that they found online, especially the more dodgy websites. In which case, you need to issue a DMCA cease and desist notice. And there's a specific format that those notices should take, and usually you send them to the web host. If the material isn't removed by the owner, and the website is hosted by a legitimate mainstream web host, the website will disappear fairly quickly. I know, I've done it myself in the past. The website will simply be taken down by the web host unless or until the owner rectifies the problem. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another Keep Safe on the Net video on YouTube.